Omar, thank you very much and good evening.
Good evening to you. A lot of technical things, legal matters raised there, for which reason the laying has been put on ice. But for the ordinary person who thinks that the minority is opposed to an airline that will preserve our water bodies and prevent Galamsey, how would you explain for them to understand that that's not what your intent was on this pre-laying issue?
Omar, thank you very much once again. First and foremost, let me place on record that the minority is not against the airline, the revocation of portions of the airline. It seeks to mandate or give a right to individuals to be able to mine in forest reserves. What the minority sought to do today was that the processes of passing an airline through ought to be followed. Parliament passed the airline. Once an airline is laid, over 21 sitting days, the airline matures to become law. However, how the paper was presented today was that it was taking away the mandate. If you carefully listen to what the majority leader said, that it was taking away the mandate or the room that is given to the president, such that the president would grant people an opportunity, or prospectors an opportunity, or miners an opportunity, or companies an opportunity to mine in forest reserve. But that is not the point. Even with the airline, the revocation of that portion from it, where persons can be granted leave to mine in forest reserve, passing through all the processes that needs to be passed through. Still, even without that law, still, the president passing through his minister can't grant, because if you read Article 2576, it says that all natural resources in their natural state are vested in the president, for which he can grant. So it doesn't specify in the Constitution anywhere that is exempt from the president granting that license through the minister. So all that we sought to do was that let us take this airline to the subsidiary legislative committee. We are all in agreement with that. During the campaign period, during last year, both parties, all individuals, as a former deputy minister, we are all in support of it. But all that we are saying that we must take it, go and couch it in such a way that what we intend wanting it to serve can be achieved, whereby even without that, some way, somehow, granting of those licenses, that blanket we cannot therefore stand as per Article 2576 of the 1992 Constitution, so that regardless of how natural it is, wherever it is found, and the president finding it convenient, the minister can grant. No, let us go out there and couch it in such a way so that let's take it to the subsidiary legislative committee. Let us all go there, allow through the crafting, the couching, and everything, so that we can present it to the floor of Parliament, and such that once it's the 21 sitting days, it can mature into law,
okay,
and what we intend wanting to have can be achieved. So we are not against it in any way at all.
Off the top of your fingers, are there some key things in there that you believe ought to be dealt with before the laying? Because once it's laid, the Constitution has made the Supreme Court has made a pronouncement. You cannot do anything to an ally once it's laid, and the Constitution provides same. Are there things you believe ought to have been dealt with, things that you think should be removed or added before, off the top of your fingers?
One, let me put it in proper context so that you can understand. Just as I said, that once is a natural resource in its natural state, wherever it is found, it is vested in the president, and that through the ministry and the minister, licenses or leases can be granted to people to mine. Omar, how do we catch it in such a way, or how do we formulate our airline, such that regardless of the constitutional imperative that we have, regardless of where the mineral is found, it can be granted? We can't exclude those areas very well and in perpetuity. Because if we take that portion out, and a land plan is drawn, and a concession plan is drawn, and somebody goes for a lease, and it will cover portions of reserve, what are you going to do? There will be no law stopping that person from mining in those areas. So how do we place that in proper context in the LI that we seek therefore to amend? So that not only the phase that allow people to be granted leases in forest reserves will be taken out, but how we can also place some sort of protection for these areas also in the same airline. That is what we seek to achieve, so that the broader view of protecting our forest and natural resource areas and some global biodiversity areas can be properly achieved. Because we are in an era of sustainability and conservation of our forest resources and natural resources. So how do we place our airline in that context in the modern world? That is what we seek to achieve.
Thank you.
We are against it in any way.
Thank you so much for speaking to us, sir.
You're most welcome, Omar.
That's Honorable Akwasi Konadu. He's Deputy Ranking on the Lands Committee of Parliament. He's also the MP for Mesha North. This is Eyewitness News on 97.3.